Shuri might not look intimidating at first, but in the right hand, she's one of the most explosive characters in Marvel Tokon. If you look at the main Shuri in Marvel Tokon, you come to the right place. Shuri is a very fast, technical character with incredible mobility, strong pressure, and plenty of creative combo routes, where she can combo pretty much any hit. And this guy broke down her best game plan that worked for me, her best normals, some beginner friendly combos, some tips that helped me win in the beta, as I was able to reach Vibranium 3 rank in the beta. So you can start winning on August the 6th when the game launches, if you're looking to main this character. Maybe picking up for the first time or looking to improve at the game as well. This guy should help you cover general game plans against a lot of the characters in this game and how to approach neutral with a character that has her type of movement and normals. So let's jump right into it. What her movement is, and she wants to constantly pressure the opponent and force mistakes and convert almost an opening into a combo. She's able to do this because she has this unique option. It's an ability system. It's basically based off a resource gauge. As you can see in the bottom left corner, she has 4 bars. So whenever she does any type of movement, which she can go in about 3 directions. So she can go backwards, she can jump really high, which is almost like a super jump, and she can dash towards you. She also is able to, in the midair, go backwards. She can go down, and then she can go forward. You also can do more than one option. So you can do back, and kind of bait out something, so you're able to really mix up her options, and it makes her really strong.
What are you thinking?
But you also can do her back. Let me see. Hold on. Fire. So you can do go back, forward, go up, back, go up. So you can pretty much use all 4 resources, but it's generally not recommended to kind of spin it all because it's very hard to get this resource back. The only way to get this resource back is really just by using discharge move, which it leaves you very open. She has armor like on the 1 frame startup, but after that startup she doesn't have armor anymore. So she gets armor on the first startup, but after that she's able to be hit right after the startup. On the ground, she's even mobile without this. She has very good movement. So what I try to do, I try to always stay on my toes, calling my assists, and try to mix up your opponent with your movement in a way. So for sure, normals, I would say for sure her 5H is one of her best normals out there. It allows for a lot of conversions, as you can see. So she's able to go straight into her skills from that. She can go into projectile from that. She can also convert into her unique option from her H button. Her 5H is really strong. I think converting off of her 2M is really good too, because sometimes she's able to get that conversion. So it's a really good button. I think both buttons are really strong. Her jabs are okay for stagger pressure. If you need like a quick, punish or something like that, you're okay for that as well. Her 5M is pretty good. I usually start my combos with 5M, 2M, and to 5H. When I'm talking about 5M and 2M, it usually means I'm talking about like the stationary position of like them. So 5 is like they're on the ground. If I say jump H, that means she's in the air and she's jumping with her H button. As you can see at the top, I have pretty much the pad where it shows the buttons. But yeah, 2M, 5H is like her best buttons. Jump H is pretty good too if you're looking for an instant overhead. This is a really good button. I use this all the time to kind of convert my pressure. For instance, I convert from like 5H spear this, and it's really good for converting. And you get a full combo. It does a lot of damage. It actually drops her. That's the raw combo. So it's able to convert. As you can see, you get pretty good damage. You get corner carry, and 5H is like a miracle. As far as her buttons, that's all I can see. Everything else, her jump jabs are okay, but you gotta be careful when you're doing jump buttons because sometimes you have landing recovery and sometimes you might get hit. I would say for sure you want to be using your movement more than her buttons. Her buttons are good, but she doesn't have buttons like magic. She doesn't have buttons a lot of other characters, so sometimes it leaves her vulnerable to get whiff punish. But I say you kind of have to like use her movement with her buttons. And that's where it kind of becomes a situation where she's able to really able to really mix you up. So let's talk about her. So I'm gonna talk about her special moves that I found to be the most beneficial for me. I would say Spiro of, might pronounce this wrong, but Bossinaga is very good. I would say for sure it's her main projectile button. I use this quite a lot, honestly. Either I'm using it in the air, or I'm using it to catch assists, or I'm using it off of EX. She also is able to throw this and kind of go forward off of unique options, so it's really good. I really explored too much with this, but I know what I like to do. I like to instant air dash backwards and throw spirit like this. I think this is like really good instead of just throwing on the ground. I feel like on the ground she has quite a bit more recovery, and when you're able to instant air dash backwards, you're kind of able to dodge a lot of the other assists that are coming at you, and also kind of cover that middle ground so they can't air dash at you. So I like to do that a lot. The EX version is good on wall break. I will say you are quite plus, and on wall break I like to go into that right after wall break. It did drop though, but usually I will try to catch them mashing. And as you can see, you can go into more conversions or etc. I think it's really good for that as well, but I think that's one of her main important specials as well. My other very important special I think is her combo special. It's actually called, pretty sure it's called Predator Arts. Yes, Predator Arts is really strong. Predator Arts is her main, one of her main mix-up options. It allows her to go into the medium version, which is a low, the heavy version, which is a overhead. That's an overhead, and she has the medium version, which is a low, and then she has the regular version, which I usually use her light version to maybe wall break and kind of just transition. That's really all you use it for. Her medium version is really good off of her normals. As you can see, her H1 is super good as well because it allows you pretty much to do her mix options. That's usually where I'm able to apply a lot of mix, is with her H1, because I'm able to do instant overhead and you kind of get the corner carry, you get the combo potential. It just leads up to a lot of damage. It's also a block strings I will show later with that. I could probably talk about it right now actually. Not trying to get too complicated, but he's able to use block strings like that, where if they mash, they will get hit by the instant overhead. In situations like that, you're able to do things off of that special. So that's why the overhead is very good. It costs 25 meter. You also sometimes you get the side switch, and in this situation you're not really plus, you're kind of like in a weird -1-0 state. So be careful doing that, and also be careful doing this special just by itself. If you don't have an assist behind you and you just do this, you will be able to get 2H, because if you do her unique option, you're susceptible to getting 2H. So that's one situation where you want to use your assist to kind of cover you, and after assist covers you, then you do the instant overhead and cover yourself like this. Like that basically. So in that situation, I was able to pretty much use my assist to add a little bit extra blocks in, so they weren't able to just press 2H and knock me out of my unique stance. And I was able to get the overhead. If they mash, I get the instant overhead, and then it converts to a combo, into a wall break, into super, and you go from there. So that's really important. I learned. I see a lot of BPs kind of just doing pressure because it's beta and people are not really reacting right now to your mix-ups. But I think it's very important to try to not build that tendency to do things like that and bad habits. This is going to be a thing we might get punished a lot on, honestly. Predator arts while she's in the air. She can do her arts like this. These also lead. So she's also able to do her predator arts in the air. As far as you can see, shoot on the ground. But if you launch them, she can do one that knocks you down, which is her inversion. This is her inversion. This is her light version. This is really good for breaking a wall or sending them across the stage. The medium version is really good for getting that knockdown into your assist most of the time, and the EX version is really good for if you're trying to combo without your assist, like I show. The medium version allows you to convert. The EX version allows you to combo by yourself. It is a way to combo, I'm pretty sure, mid-screen without having to be in the corner. But it's some more tech I need to find out for myself as well. I'm still learning this character as you guys are. I would say as far as in the corner, you were able to do the EX version like this. So you're able to convert solo without needing an assist to pretty much pick them up. The EX version is really good in my eyes because you're able to just pretty much combo without anything. And also ways to do it if you do this. You can kind of combo it short without needing to actually use a bar. Just like that. So you're able to not really have to use a bar to kind of fall down and continue the combo, and it's really strong, honestly, when you're dealing with a character like this. It allows you to get really good combo potential in midair, and really good conversion, even from like right here. She can combo you all the way to the other side of the screen. So it allows her to kind of pick up while you're implementing her movement options with her unique button, and as well as her special on predator arts as well. She also has another skill, which is her daggers. The daggers actually are used in combos. They're more of her more advanced combos, I would say, for sure. You can also kind of like maybe use it on low-key pressure. But they're very more higher level BP, I think, game plan, because when you're starting out, you kind of not really focus on using the daggers as much. As I've found out that I really haven't been using them as much. But I would say your main focus should be on her predator arts and kind of mastering her gauge and make sure you're maintaining that gauge instead of focusing on her daggers. But I think they're a really good tool when you're trying to pressure on Oki, and as far as like that. Daggers are really strong. She has 2 supers for level 1. Well, it costs 50% meter. Gives you really good damage. A really good ender as far as for combos and stuff like that. As far as her other move, her install is very important, actually. Her install actually gives her full meter, and it allows her to use her unique option pretty much without any situation where it runs out. It runs out after a while, but you can keep doing this constantly without having to use bars. And then before it ends, you can just super. So she's able to do her 150 super and a 100 pretty much super, and she can do her regular supers as well, and she can do her quick assemble super as well. In this mode, her unique super allows her to pretty much, she gets access to a full gauge of meter. She can use all her movement options as much as she want. And until it runs out, but before it runs out, you're able to, you have access to your level 1 super, you have access to your level 100 bar super and your 100 and 150, and you also have access to your quick assemble super while you're in install. No matter what the percentage is, you have access to pretty much to do any super at any time. So I will show some combos with it later on, but you also can combo into this, and then as you combo into this, you can end the combo with her level 100 or 150 super, which I showed earlier. And yeah, it allows her pretty much that you get a lot of mix-up options and pretty much secure the round if you really need to. But as far as all her skills go, that's pretty much all her skills. I'll probably talk about the next topic at the moment. So as far as neutral go, guys, I think her best option, obviously in Tokon, you have 4 characters. You have access to 3 assists. I think you really want to take into account that you have 3 assists. You want assists that kind of cover neutral for you, such as like an Iron Man beam assist. You want to cover maybe like something that allows you to maybe mix up. You want to assist that also can cover the air for you. Just, it don't have to be these specific characters, but any assist that really helps BP in neutral when she's dealing with projectiles and a lot of characters that have better normals than her. Other than that, I think as far as in neutral, you want to be using this move right here quite often. A little bit of that. I think you want to be baiting out normals. I think you want to be as annoying as possible. Think of her as a very agile character, so you want to take advantage of her movement options, right? So when I'm in matches, I'm taking advantage of jumping a lot, and this annoys people a lot, right? So you have access to air assists. You know, you also can cancel any of your moves into your movement. That also gives you a very option for that as well. I think that's very important to know, because a lot of the times opponents are they throw assist out as well. So your opponent is throwing out assists and you're throwing out assists, and you want to take advantage that PP has a lot of good movement. She's a character that can ignore a lot of things that's going on the map. As you can see, for example, Iron Man has really annoying moves. He has a unibeam, he has rockets. It's really good movement as well, so it's kind of hard for BP to kind of approach this type of character. So you want to be using your assist and also your unique option, which you have 4 bars, but you're going to make the most out of these bars because they're very hard to get in an actual match, because you can't really charge up this and sit here and charge this for free. You have to get maybe a knockdown on Oki and situations like that where you're able to kind of recover your bar. Characters like Iron Man have unibeams. As you can see, you get a counter hit, or you're just jumping over them. You either jump over them or you kind of able to get a hit on them, honestly. This allows you pretty much to approach neutral in a way that this character is able to dash across the screen and not have to just normal jump, even though jumping is very good as well, because she also has, after she has moving like that, so you can double jump. Also, like, dodge it as well. As well, so you're dodging the beam and you're also taking advantage of her movement. I think that's very important. And you're able to really close the distance and close the gap and approach people trying to zone you, such as Iron Man, Magneto, which I've seen a lot on Twitter recently. These characters kind of have really strong zoning tools, so I think BP has a lot of skills and a lot of options to kind of pressure opponents and rush them down very quickly to kind of approach them in neutral. As post wall break, I think after wall break, neutral kind of resets, but you're usually plus in a situation. I think the best thing after wall break is doing EX spear toss, because it gives you a stun and you can get a combo. That usually allows you to get a combo after wall break. You're pretty much blessed. I advise to do that quite often. Don't do it too much. Obviously, it's always about a matchup and also who you're playing against. But you are plus, and that is an option to do. I think using all of those options will make you really excel in her neutral game plan of Sherry. I think she revolves around a lot of her movement and canceling all her animations to make them shorter frames. And I think it's very important when you're playing her to use your assist while you're using her movement, use your projectile with your assist. And it helps her a lot when you're dealing with a lot of characters in neutral. So I'm going to show some pretty much some beginner combos that I learned. Kind of beginner, they're not really hard technically because most of the combos in this game are very universal. I think a lot of combos in Tokon kind of follow the same format where you're doing 2M, 2H, into assist, pick up, into assist, into wall break. But I'll show more of some concept right now in a couple clips. So I'm going to show some pretty much some beginner combos that I learned. Kind of beginner, they're not really hard technically because most of the combos in this game are very universal. I think a lot of combos in Tokon kind of follow the same format where you're doing 2M, 2H, into assist, pick up, into assist, into wall break. But I'll show more of some concept right now in a couple clips. right there. This is one of my go-to combos I tend to do. It's about 56k. It's really good combo. When you have a wall, there, the damage kind of spikes out. I'm pretty sure you probably can get maybe 60k damage here, but with the wall, it does allow you to do a lot more. You don't really need the wall too much, but you know, every character allows them to super off the wall, and you get a lot of different Oki setups and just different situations. She's also able to super off of this move right here. She can do this, and you can super right after it. If you're just starting out, you could use a quick skill. I use it sometimes for some inputs, because right now the input reader in this game is a little off. Hopefully they improve it when the game comes out on August the 6th. There's also some problems with assists and stuff like that, so there's a lot of performance problems right now. So definitely don't feel bad about using quick assist. It's really good. If the game allows you to input anything instantly, it's really important, especially on DPs or stuff like that. They're not really a traditional DPs, but when you're trying to do this type of motion, sometimes it can be hard to do it. So I recommend, if you want to do it very quickly, it's okay. Also, I didn't really talk about this skill. Sorry about that. This skill right here actually, or it's not really a DP, it's not a wake up option, but it allows her to extend combos pretty frequently. She's also able to just do some stuff like this. Boom. And it's a super. So you kind of use it as like a little extension. It's really good for extension. She also has her aerial right here. This right now on the ground, he kind of stumbles, but if you do hit them midair, it does make them roll. So you get like a stumble effect. You can actually combo solo off that stumble effect as well. Obviously, if you do two of them, it's gonna break the combo. Anytime you do two specials like that, it breaks the combo like that. So you never want to do that. That's something I definitely recommend not doing. That's been the thing in this beta for sure, that you can't really rinse repeat doing your super skills like that, and it kind of hurts you. But I do recommend doing her EX spear throw in midair. I dropped it right there. You do need some height to it. It's definitely like, definitely want like some height when you're doing that. I rarely ever kind of use it though. I prefer to use the knockdown. Or if I'm going for like an EX option for is in the air, I would prefer to do something like this, because it just gives you more time. You're already kind of spinning that meter. You could possibly like that and kind of combo it together. It's a lot of meter, but you can do something like that as well if you want to. But I prefer to use like maybe one EX per combo sometimes, and I try to keep it as much meterless dependent as possible. Another combo too I recommend, sometimes you do make sure you do take advantage of her 2H. I didn't really explain that. That's a button as well as a universal button. 2H actually is very important when you're dealing with characters like this. You get combos like this. Like that. It misses though, but you get the concept basically. 2H is very important. There's a lot of ways, because when you do a 2H, you get a ground bounce, so it allows you to pretty much do stuff meterless. You don't have to use too much. You also could do this in the midair, so you get the same combo. You get the wall break. Yeah, that's pretty much my beginner starter guide to Black Panther. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is one of the first guides I ever made, so please be nice. But I think this is cool. I'm definitely still learning. I might have missed a couple things on her. She's a lot. It was a beta. We only had like probably 2 or 3 days to play her. Um, there's still some things I might have to re-advise on this guy later on, but I think this is a good beginner's guide starting out if you're just picking her up and you kind of want to learn more. It does go a little bit in depth on her stuff, but a lot of the combo system in this game is very universal. It's not too hard, but once you start getting to the more complicated things as far as for her daggers or her movement, it gets a little hard. But I say just give it a little time. It took me like maybe a day or two to kind of get a grasp on her. Her combos aren't really hard, honestly. She just has a movement option, and once you get to using that, you'll be comfortable in this character and everything. So I appreciate you guys for watching the video. I will drop another video like this pretty soon if I have more time. I will drop more on the characters, but Shuri is the most time I spent on a character in the beta, so I wasn't able to play any of like Captain America or Iron Man, any other character. So, but I do plan on playing Shuri in a full game. So whenever Shuri comes out in a full game, I will try to play her and spend more time on her concepts and pretty much be streaming on twitch.tv.com. I'll show you guys right here. And as far as that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all stay easy.